is my stream down? Yeah, are we good? Is stream good? I just hit record.
Stream is up.
Okay, I just hit record and my computer froze. I started the recording and my computer froze, so I just want to double check it here before we do this. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. Regardless. Champions, welcome. The squares have aligned and bingo is nigh. It's time for the first game of Elden Squares Season 3, Week 2. And now, introducing the contestants, fighting out of the red corner, we have a man who is an absolute monster in the DLC, a base game DLC specialist able to go toe-to-toe with the great champions like President Strump and Shura, the absolute. It is none other than Champa Lampa and his teammate. Fighting out of the red corner, a man who has brought countless new players and eyes onto the bingo scene. A man who came out as a humble rookie, but has grinded his ass off. And as you can see by the picture in his background, he is a hungry lion who is ready to come out here and dominate the bingo streaks. It is none other than Stakes Lions and their opponents. Fighting out of the blue corner, we have the most experienced man in this matchup. A player who has fought through the trials and tribulations of bingo, but every step of the way he has been hardened by it and strengthened by it, and he is ready to go wild on the entirety of the Crucible this season. It is none other than the debut of Noya Sparks, the Wild One, and their teammate, a woman who have fought her ass off in the Rookie Rumble, a tactical bingo mind who was able to use her strategy in order to make playoffs and have an amazing rookie performance. But all that gets wiped away here as she looks to prove that she's not only a great rookie, but a fantastic player in the open division, none other than Turtle Beard. And now let's go ahead and run that board and square off. All right, Rambler, you ready to go?
Yes, of course.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Center square prediction, Rambler.
4-3 Sentinels.
I will go with Malekith the Black Blade will be my center square prediction. Let's take a look here and see what it is. Egon's Cookbooks is the center square, so that obviously involves some DLC. I will kind of walk you guys through the exciting, cool stuff that I see, and then we'll let Rambler get you down into the nitty gritty. In that top row here, we have, Rambler, can you go let the players know I have to restart the match? I forgot to change this max squares per category.
All right.
Tell them they can use same seed, it's fine. But I gotta restart the board, rerun the board. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know. I saw it initially, Thomas, as I was going through. Don't worry, chat. When I post this to YouTube, I'll edit this out, so we'll never see this. Aha! Can't stop me from editing. I'll fix it. My bad. I'm sorry, team. New bingo app.
They are informed.
I don't know what you're talking about, Thomas. I'm scared. All right. You want me to use... Okay.
No. Forget that.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I am sure there's a reason for it, but I'll figure it out later. All right. Now let's ready to go for real. In 3, 2, 1. Rambler, center square for definitely the first time.
Now I'm getting the right one. 4-3 Sentinels.
Malekith again. All right, let's go ahead and see what it is here. It is the Sleeping Golem in Lanedale here. That's a pretty interesting one because it can be rushed immediately, and I would not be surprised to see that center square rushed off rip. Again, though, I'll lead you through kind of the exciting stuff. We do have that Death Knight in the top row again for the third time in this one match. As well as a little bit of quite a bit of DLC in that top row: Imbibe, Death Knight, and Sword of Light and Darkness. In that row too, we have that Malekith, the Black Blade. If anyone doesn't know how to get to Malekith in this format, you need to touch the Foot of the Forge Grace. In that grace will go ahead and take you to Farum Azula. You do not need to kill Fire Giant, you just need to touch the grace in front of him. We have those 5 different remembrances, a good amount of early whatever the Renala Castellensis is. It's literally on the board. Read, buddy. With Moonrathil and Castellensis, Troll Knight, and Bulls. Then in that bottom row, or in the bottom 2 rows, we have Godfrey. But really, as I'm seeing here, not a lot of base game outside of very early. A lot of DLC. I think Stakes and Turtle here are going to be tested early with their DLC knowledge. But I'll hand it over to Rambo to get your take on the board.
Well, yes, it is a very heavy DLC board. We have at least, like, I'm counting right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We 14 DLC squares. So this is definitely a rush for both Champa and Noya. Like, they're definitely gonna do Godric Renala and make sure that they get the upper hand there. Very interesting square to rush immediately with a +9 smithing weapon is the Ancestral. With balls, right? Because you can basically just do it right after getting the 2 remembrances. But there is one specifically very important line, which is the top left diagonal. Top left diagonal, as you can see, is not all base game, but is all. It has 3 squares in Weeping. Sleeping Golem center square, Leonine, and Scarcius, like that, and that's like very dangerous because you might want to go for one of these 3 right away, probably either a Sleeping Golem or Leonine, to prevent that from being like a problem. As the other 2 squares in the diagonal are Oathseeker Knight and Black Knife set, which requires you having GLC access and Altus access, and 2 Ghost Flame Dragons. Like, sometimes it's not the easiest one to go for, given the situation that it is a boss that is resistant to cold, which is the most likely affinity that players will have when they reach the GLC for the first time.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because obviously we have Turtle and Stakes, and they're very, the format is so different, right? And obviously rookie versus open division, the square set changes a lot. There are very few squares that happen to be in both the rookie rumble, the rookie events, and this 2v2 open event. But it's looking like it might be like a rookie rumble rewind for the first couple squares here on the board between Turtle and Stakes, as we have those 3 squares on that diagonal that were from that event that they just competed in. I think, I think there definitely will probably be a Sleeping Golem and Lanedale rush, except Turtle is the only one with a wieldable weapon, I believe. Turtle started with the Bastard Sword and seems to be gunning for it immediately. Stakes is going Golden Halberd, and then both Champa and Noya are going with that Brick Hammer. There also was the Chicken Wing in Round Table. A really good weapon, but the stat investment is quite high. Maybe potential that we see a player pivot to it, because I know that weapon is a fan favorite. But I'm excited to see what we got going on here as this game gets underway in 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Let's see. We see like these options are very like I pointed out, like base game is not that important after those 2 rushable squares in Weeping. Like so you could very well like delay your entry to the GLC, or
so immediately Stakes and Turtle are racing. Stakes actually does have the Golden Halberd online. Turtle went for a skip onto that bridge there. It looks a lot easier than it is. I miss it all the time. It very well could have been the difference. I don't blame Turtle for going for it in this instance, because like center square rush, you need to be prepared for this, but Turtle does get it on the second time of asking, not too far behind here. But yeah, immediately we have our 2 rookies racing, or former rookies, recent rookies racing. for this center square on the board here. You know, I'm sure this might be a little bit of, you know, a rewind. If we go back to last week, Stakes center square on the board was Loretta, Blue Retta, in Liurnia. Stakes narrowly lost a race to Jurors for that center square. Probably now, like, okay, here we go again. You know, time to right the wrong and actually get the victory on this race here. But Turtle is not far behind, and it is the Sleeping Golem and Lanedale is, you know, it's not the hardest boss, the hardest thing guy ever, but he is like Lanedale scaled. In it's a longer fight. You can very easily make a mistake and die if you miss a charge or 2 window. And it will be of note that Stakes has very low vig because he had to get a bunch of stats to get online. Turtle was able to invest some of her starting runes into her health bar because she picked that bastard sword.
Yeah, the thing I see here is that, like, there is a very arcane route that you can take for some upgrades that goes through Leonine, because you can buy stones from the merchant on the rampart. So I would have considered going for the Leonine first. Reason being, like, this golem is a menace. Like, he can kill you in one swipe very easily, and if you don't get him in the loop, you're in trouble.
Nice little knowledge check by Turtle there, doing that little run up. Obviously, by doing the skip in the run-up, she hasn't quite offset the time for the death, but she has made up a good amount of time in the running section. So not far behind Stakes here entering the fight. This is going to be very close between these two, no matter which way it goes. Now, must be of note, Stakes has that Golden Vow Ash of War. Is that enough to maybe make it 1 less crit on the Golem? I don't know. But that could be the difference here. It's going to be so close between these two. Stakes is already in here. The other thing that is super annoying about this fight is the fact that you need to try to keep him in the center of the arena. Otherwise, you can run into an issue where you can't take the riposte because he's off a ledge. Stakes did a pretty good amount of damage there, actually, with that first crit.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get a 4th cycle.
It's right on the edge. If he Golden Vows before he takes his next crit, he will. Turtle's using Stamp. I don't think that's the best in terms of, like, poise per second. Probably
not, but she's getting the loops.
Yeah, Stakes is very close to the edge here. Concern is less so him falling off, but maybe not being able to take the crit, and he cannot take the crit. The guy is too far on the edge. This could give Turtle some room to come back, but Turtle, it's going to be a 4 cycle, I think, for Turtle, or a 5 cycle for Turtle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, 6 went down. Oh my god. Stakes
almost like
down.
A few seconds before, Turtle almost died, but that difference was like a 1 vigor point, basically. 1 vigor point saved Turtle there.
Yeah, and it has to do with because Turtle picked that bastard sword, right? She was able to level just a bit more of health, right? And it's making a difference here in this fight. She would have died 100%, but she was, you know, with her weapon choice, yes, it was slower, but allowed her to have a bit more of a safety net. She just needs 1 more crit here to end the fight, and this will be another devastating snipe on center square. A very unlucky streak for Stake, and there it goes. God. Turtle and Noya base mommy and daddy do claim the center square on the board.
Yeah, this is brutal for Stakes. He was so much ahead, and the problem was obviously the way the golem stood there, in a way that he could not take the repulse. Like that's very unfortunate.
Yep, and we go right back into the action here as we have Champa fighting Margit. God, that was one hell of a way to start the day, right? You get the juices flowing right off rip.
Center square rush right at the start.
Yeah, that was really rough for Stakes though, because like, you know, obviously he lost it. He lost that rush, center square rush, in a similar situation. Last game it was for Loretta. Now, you know, with this square, just unfortunate for Stakes for sure. Nice job by Champa there, getting through Margit. but we know he can bounce back. He has lion in the name, the heart of a lion, the resiliency. Obviously, sucks to lose the center square. It is in a vacuum the most important square on the board, but we got a lot of bingo left to play here, and I'm very sure that Stakes will make his mark on this game here. The question is just, will it be the difference for Team Nordic Thunder to pull it out here today?
Yeah, this will put a lot more pressure on Champalampa to make it to the GLC quickly, because there is like, that's row 3, the center row. There's 2 very fast squares in GLC, Ancestral, Knight and Balls, and Moonrefill. And you really don't want to be in a position where you need to block with Blade of Mercy, or like keep killing remembrances just to get the block, right? Like, so might be important here.
And maybe the weapon randomizer is the edge a little bit for Stake here, as we see Noya fighting the Red Wolf. Stake did the Great Axe Carriage check in Limgrave and got the Rusted Anchor, an absolutely amazing weapon that he might use, and Noya goes down there. Noya goes down to the Red Wolf. And Champalampa and Noya here, I know Noya looks way ahead, but they've kind of staggered here. Champa already killed Margit, so they're kind of DLC rush they're doing in a different order. So don't pay too much attention to that. I think if anything, Champa is actually ahead right now by virtue of the death by Noya here.
Yeah, Noya ended up like holding, like doing the charge R2 there, and with this weapon in particular, it's a dangerous one because the Red Wolf can attack you during the recovery animation.
Yes, he can. That Red Wolf, I mean, that Red Wolf is a menace, right? Like, I think, you know, players make it look so easy so much of the time, and I think sometimes we do have a tendency to act like it is just like a little hurdle. But no, he can catch you out so easily. He maybe doesn't have the most health, but he does a ton of damage. You can get frame trapped by glint blades. Like, there's it's so easy to make mistakes on this fight. It probably goes understated how impressive it is seeing our players do what they do every game and just make it look easy.
Yeah, and Noya is doing it +0 because like the Brick Hammer is too expensive to upgrade. So what players do is they decide like to do one boss +0, and then that boss gives you the money to upgrade. In this case, it's Red Wolf. Champa decided for Margit. In terms of routing, it is more efficient to do the Red Wolf, but I think Margit is less dangerous.
I agree with you on that. Noya's in trouble there. He gets the double bite. Literally, I think anything else he would have been fine, but due to his stamina there, after he had to roll those extra glint blades, and due to his stamina, he pretty much was just in a hard, like between a rock and a hard place. He had no choice but to just hope he didn't get that RNG. And the god of this game, Bernie Bingo, seems to have it out for Noya there today, as he got unlucky. Obviously, you know, he put himself in that position, but any other move, he would have been completely fine. Just didn't have enough stamina to roll twice and went down.
I am surprised though. Has Champa already upgraded, or is he going +0 Red Wolf as well?
I wasn't able to catch it exactly.
Probably.
You go, Rambo. Sorry.
No, he probably did before I could see, because it would be very inefficient to do both +0.
Yeah,
because he just leveled. So
it's my first time on commentary having that immediate center square rush. So, you know, we kind of got to adapt a little bit. I'm learning on the fly and getting better just as well as our players are throughout the season. Yeah, he definitely did upgrade though. Damage is much better than Noya here.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things about, you know, this DLC format, right, or this 2v2 format. You know, obviously, like, because the fact that it is so hard for everybody, Golden Order Crucible doesn't matter. Like, this format is absolutely brutal, right? The odds that both teams play perfect is really low, right? Like, obviously, Stakes made that unfortunate error dying to the Golem, right? But, you know, Noya makes an error to Red Wolf, and Champa's should, in theory at least, he has a lead on getting into the DLC first here. So Yo, I would still give a little bit of an edge to base mommy and daddy here, but Nordic Thunder, that was something that Nordic Thunder kind of needed here, even though they don't know that it happened yet. As Champa does get down the Red Wolf, very nicely done there. We'll go back with Noya. Please don't full screen curse him again for the 3rd time today. Chat will never forgive me. All right, very nicely done. There is the final hit, and that is Red Wolf down there for Noya. But he is behind on Margit here.
Yeah. The silver lining for him is that he will have cold affinity on his brick hammer to do Margit. And that might make the fight a little bit faster, but Champa now is ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very nice pickup and fall.
That glintstone, that magic wet blade is definitely the silver lining in Noya's playbook here. Do you see what I did there? Or do you?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Never mind. Turtle and Stakes both collected dectus, if I'm not mistaken. I was focused on Champa and Noya rushing. Academy. Stakes is about to get the Source Seal. And Turtle is moving in the direction of Carrier Manor. Or actually maybe Altus. Very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see when either Turtle or Stakes decides to pull the trigger on Leonine, because it is a very good block and potentially a square to consider going for next.
Meanwhile, as Champa gets in trouble there and he goes down in Stormveil, the Knights. You know, it's one thing, I know Champa has been working really, really hard on getting better at base game, but it's a lot to learn, like in these little precise things that like the players do over time, right? Because Champa is a DLC expert, right? I literally don't know if he had played almost any base game bingo at all before joining this event. You know, just that little error there. He just slightly missed the jump at the top of the stairs that you do to dodge the initial one, and then got in some trouble there and unfortunately went down.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to ask, like rushing. Even though Godric and Renala are the easiest remembrances to get, it's still no easy task to do that like under 20 minutes, as everybody has been doing, right? Like with any weapon that you can find, like making your best. Oh my God, Champa.
Yeah, especially when you don't have like when you don't have experience with it too, like, you know, stuff like the Stormveil run, like there are a lot of different like ways to play the game where, you know, whether it's hitless or speed runs or whatever, where like you will have practiced that, but like it is something that is very practiced and refined. Like I know I personally have spent an egregious amount of time practicing running through Stormveil, right? Like over time, it kind of is like nothing, but for a player like Champalampa, who it's like he probably had to learn that on the fly. That's just like extra little layers that these players have to learn on top of like the bingo strategy. It's just like, okay, how do I run through Stormveil with no vig, with that like fast and not get in trouble? Like that is actually a very important and difficult thing to learn, even though it kind of goes unnoticed many times.
And we'll have a good measure of how far ahead Champa is now. The death really made it closer for Noya. He just killed Margit, and Champa is at Godric right now. So when Godric dies for Champa, we'll have a measure of how far Noya is currently.
I don't think the death cost too much, but obviously, you know, it was unfortunate, and you know, maybe a little bit of extra pressure on Champa here. I know he's someone who is very he could take it, right? But maybe a little bit of extra pressure. Obviously, you know, your team loses that race for that center square, and you know, you want to pick up the curtains, pick up the reins. Obviously, not only to win, but also to like. I think it's really important as a team. You know, I know I try to do this with Rando, where it's like, you know, if my teammate's struggling, like I want to try to do my best to be like, yo, dude, I got your back, right? Like we're a team, we're in this together, man.
For sure. It is very hard though, because because you don't know your opponent died twice in the Red Wolf, so
Yeah.
he doesn't know how far ahead like for all he knows, he's very well behind. So like this format, the hardest thing to do is to figure out what to do with the lack of information,
Yep.
because you don't always know where your opponent is in bingo. But in this format, you need to account for two others, and like that may influence his decision making in like what square he goes first in the GLC. Uh, while Noia also will have the same thought process, the only difference being he knows that Turtle got the center square, so he has options to work for in terms of figuring out what's the best way of like capitalizing with that square to create a new threat or to get a few more map presence points in the GLC so he can respond to whatever Champa does.
Yes, sir. Also, something of note here, Turtle was doing some extra weapon checks, and she did get that Dragon Hunter's Great Katana. She does only have 13 dex though, so she will need to get the Sword Seal plus an extra 2 levels here. And Noia's in on Godric. The final time when enemy felled appeared for Champa Lampa was 1602 after Godric, so we can get a good feel for how far Noia is behind. I also will say I think the difference is not just the desk, but I did notice early on Champa's overworld movement just seemed to be a little bit more refined. And probably just gained some ground as well, just simply getting from point A to point B.
Yeah, I saw Noia having to go back for the smithing tools next to Rail Kaya, and that definitely lost him some time.
Yep, because Noia is now in on Godric phase 2, but Champa has already gotten Renala down here. This is going to be very close as well. This is not going to be a one cycle. I wouldn't greed for it. No reason to take the extra hit. All right, as Noia does get Godric down here, the exact time is probably going to be 1808 or so. I guess no, because I'm looking at his stream instead of ours, but to be fair, I was looking at Champa's stream as well. So time on his stream was about 1813, 1814 here. So Champa has just over a 2-minute lead here on Noia, which is by no means insignificant, especially with so many DLC squares on the board.
Yeah, we see Turtle going for the imbued sword key. She had to light she did the wrong torch, and now she did the right one. It's gonna be interesting to go for imbued sword keys here because Champa and Noia will be in a better spot to get it because they already went through the Red Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Maybe team Base Mommy and Daddy are kind of expecting stakes here to go for Leonine, so kind of maybe vacating the top left to bottom right diagonal and instead going for the other one. He gets the kill, but he dies. Oh my god, is he gonna get enemy felled? Is he gonna get enemy felled? He did at the very last second. Oh my, that was close.
That is close.
Champa dodges a bullet there.
Now the good thing is he spawns here regardless. Yeah. He spawns at this room.
And actually, Stakes here is going for the Ghost Flame Dragon. So we're actually going to go with Stakes and Noia here as the 2 players on the team. Sorry, not Ghost Flame Dragon, but the Glintstone Dragon here. Looking at the 4 Dragonheart bosses in that bottom left-hand corner. Maybe also looking at Makar as his route to Altus for another Dragonheart boss.
No, they both have.
Oh, I guess he does have full Dectus, yeah. I will say though, this anchor is doing work, and Smaragd does give a decent amount of runes here because Stakes' HP bar is quite low, so I'm sure he will greatly appreciate having that little bit of extra vig.
Oh yeah.
Stakes does get Smaragd down, and Champa is already making his way through it in the DLC. He's picking up some Scadu and doing some routing. We'll go full screen with Noia here as he tries to catch up with Champa in the DLC. You know, and is Champa going immediately for Moonrathil? Or is he
It
going
looks
imbued?
I think he's going for the imbued sword key.
That would be a big snipe. You know, to be fair, it is unclear whether or not Turtle is intending on going imbued sword keys, or if it was one of those things where it's like, well, I'm gonna light the brazier anyways, I'll go pick up the imbued sword key, right?
Yeah, I think it was an efficiency pickup by Turtle. Otherwise, she would be making her way to Academy, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too. I think her current objective is to get Dragon Hunters online. I that's my guess. She seemed pretty excited about it when she got it, but it's hard to say for sure. Oh, Champa there gets... what happened? How did he...
I didn't understand exactly what happened.
Well, he just lost 45k.
It was
like I think what happened was he quit out after picking up the imbued key, and then went to go, and as he like spawned back in before he could warp, he somehow aggroed the Mesmer soldier that's on the other side of the wall there. I believe that's what happened.
Maybe that's what happened. Noya is making his way to the forge. He wants to fully set up before doing anything in the DLC. I don't see any other reason to go this way, right? Like on the board. Yeah, there's no reason to go there except maybe if you want to do the Red Bear as one boss. But I don't think that's.
Oh yeah, Noya. Sorry. Yeah, because Wolf, Lion, Hippo, Bear. I mean, technically you could do 2 bosses because you could do the NPC if you're crazy. And actually, we have Stakes here is going for Bridge Dragon Grail. This can be a square. It's not a square on this board. It was actually a square that Rambler, I believe you did immediately in your game last week. It was the very
first square of Golden Order. I marked the very first square of Golden Order, and I hope to mark the last.
Say less, baby. Say less. You or your teammate hopefully marks the last square and gets that victory. Stakes here, even though it's not on the board, like I understand going for this because it is such a power spike getting this 80k roughly, 80k runes. So even though it is just a dragon heart, technically 1/4 of a square, rather than a full square here, I still understand why this is worth it from him, because getting that amount of vig where you just can feel so much more comfortable is incredibly important. And Turtle here is upgrading the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana. She was able to get it to +3 there, ran out of money before she could afford the final upgrade, which is a bit unfortunate. My other question here is, does Champa died with 45k? Does he think about going back for that at any point? Like, I would want to.
He is doing reprimands, so I think he's thinking of getting the America's rune.
Yeah, you can just get the America's rune. As Noya is going in the forge, for anyone who doesn't know, you can upgrade from a +3 smithing all the way to a +25 with this forge, as well as some pickups on the way to the forge. So that's why Noya is going for this. A little bit, maybe a less aggressive route into the DLC, but also maybe unsurprising considering the fact that Noya died, had those problems at Red Wolf. He might just be saying, you know what, let's just set up and then get in a position to respond to whatever Champa Lampa does, because realistically speaking, he's ahead of me right now.
Grail wasn't very nice with the RNG, but Stakes fought very well here.
Very nicely done there for Stakes as he does get that Grail down. That's a huge kill for him. Also a big confidence boost. That is not an easy kill whatsoever. It very likely could have been one shot. Thankfully, he didn't have to find out whether he was or was not one shot.
Yeah, I think he would be. I think he would be one shot there. Champa going for the 7s next to Garou.
Yeah, so both players are just doing the full setup, and Turtle here is actually making her way to the imbued keys. This might end up being very close between Champa and Turtle as they go for the imbued keys, because Turtle is getting very close to Red Wolf with an upgraded Dragon Hunter's Great Katana.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him going for the imbued sword key that early and not finish the square instead of doing the setup. I would have done the like things in a different order.
Yeah, I think it's really hard in this format too. In singles, I think it's much easier to get away with stuff like that. But by virtue of there not only being two players, but also like at this point, the only person who you could track at all is Turtle, but you couldn't track her past the first 5 minutes of the game. That is one of the things that's really interesting about this format. It feels like there's almost like a fog of war at the start of the game because the early game is a bit slower. And then teams kind of reveal their preparation throughout the game, and you need to pull the pieces together with your teammate as to what the opposing team is doing. Turtle here is in on the Red Wolf. We'll go full screen with her here. And actually, we're going to go to the dual screen again because Stakes is... We got our base game players continuing to do work here as Stakes is going for Execusi as his third Dragonheart boss. He's just killing all the big dragons here today. Turtle does get clipped here in a little bit of trouble, has to run away. The one thing is because neither of these players, Turtle nor Stake, you do get a big power spike in your flash. So this format has accelerated progression. As a result, if you either get Altus access and actually touch a Grace in Altus, or get two remembrances as Turtle goes down there to the Red Wolf, you do get a massive upgrade to your flasks. You get 3 sacred tears for getting an Altus Grace, and you get 5 for killing 2 remembrances. A lot of players do tend to just rely on those in order to upgrade their flasks and forgo sacred tears, but you can run into problems early here in the game because you have nothing effectively.
Yeah, the flash, like even one sacred tear is like a lot more healing than the +0.
That it is. Stakes is having a very nice Exex fight. It's longer, but it is a nice fight. I think, you know, they're going to get a really important square for them. And maybe they're even considering setting up a line with that Cleon and Bellarat, like, because there's DLC heavy lines coming off of that diagonal. Not only does it block it, but you could threaten either a column 1 or a row 5. 2 DLC heavy lines. And if Stakes backs Champa here as Noya goes down there to the Furnace Golem, like that is, man, this format is just so brutal because you're on such low health, right? These little mistakes that where it's like, oh, I just get randomly hit, particularly in the DLC. You pay with your life in this format.
Oh yeah, especially this Furnace Golem, even if you have like 40 vigor, it might be a one shot if you don't have Skadu. Thankfully they do, but it might not be enough sometimes.
Turtle here does get that Red Wolf of Radagon down, and she's going to make her way to the imbued keys. And as long as she hard rushes it, I believe she will beat Champa Lampa. At this point, they're pretty even on progress, and Champa is running to Hippo.
Maybe we're seeing a Hippo race at the DLC side.
Oh yeah, actually just a straight up Hippo race. Stakes, go ahead and finish this fight here quickly, buddy, so we can focus on the Hippo race. Come on, dude.
Well, Zax is doing his best Q impression.
Yeah, Stakes, throw us a bone here on commentary. Come on. Dude, what is Exex doing? You can kind of see almost like a bit of a smile on Stakes. He's like scratching his face, rolling his head back. He's like, dude, what the
He's doing his Gear impression, then he's walking on air. He can fly, but he likes to levitate.
All right, Stakes, I'm sorry, we have full faith in you, but we got a hippo race going on, so let's bring the boys up here for the hippo race. Champa versus Noya. We saw them go head-to-head in the base game, getting to the DLC. Now let's see them go head-to-head with this hippo. It will not be a square in and of itself, but it does give you a significant amount of access, as you are able to get, you do automatically get the viaduct grace. That is the grace after the bridge going to Omina. As well as this kill here for potentially the 3 hippo square. Congratulations to Stakes, as he does get Exikes down, but we got a hippo race on our hands.
Yeah, Shoppa has a much better vigor bar as of right now.
Let's say, Rambo, I got a question for you. Let's say equal setup, right? Not like a backhand blade setup, but like an equal decent veil break setup, right? Fate of the world on the line. Who are you taking, Champa or Noya?
I'm taking Champa. I'm taking Champa because like in the GLC vanilla bingo, we have a lot of things that make us powerful, but the hippo in that particular Noya goes down. The hippo in that particular setup is a rush square that you do with as few resources as you can get. Basically, like you basically go like with only 2 Scado, you don't have like talismans, you don't have anything. So Champa is used to fight this fight for a long time sometimes, and right now he has way more Scado than he usually does doing his fight.
Yeah, and he's gonna get 2 more as well as a ton of runes. You know, as Oh Captain, my Captain Domo would say, it activates Champa Lampa in the DLC. I know I've realized watching Bingo Ballers, it's a buzzword that he likes to use, but he's just gonna get so many runes in Scadu here. All of a sudden, like squares like Moonrithil, which were kind of like, understandably so, kind of scary. Go rush that. Ensis Knight, like Queeline and Bellorat. Like there's a lot here where it's like, maybe I want a little bit more health, but now Champa Lampa is activated and ready to take on the DLC, as we will go full screen with Noya here.
Yeah,
and it has to be said how absolutely, of course, I start talking nice about him, and then I was gonna say something nice, and then he died. God damn it, this game hates me. The curses. But it has to be said, like how absolutely ridiculous it is to be fighting hippo, like at this standpoint.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yes, they have some extra Scadu. All right, we threw them a bone. Okay, but. Like, look at their HP bar. Unless you're doing a challenge, like this is a challenge run level of HP, not a competitive gain level of HP. But we are veil breaking all the rules here with this format and testing players in ways they've never been tested before in a bingo game. And you know, it's we know we're putting our players up against it, but and there might be some mistakes, but we know they could do it. We have faith and we want to test them.
Yeah, I see Turtle here getting built.
Yeah.
Very nice square to get, but the diagonal is already blocked by Stakes' Dragon Hearts.
Yeah, and I'm so interested to see the fact that Champa continues to not go aggressively for a square, like to complete a square necessarily. God. How is Noya alive? What in the ER tool?
God. Oh my god. Also, I don't know if I am disconnecting or you are disconnecting sometimes from the Discord.
Let me check.
Maybe it's me.
My ping looks good, so it might be you. Well, I can tell you I didn't notice it at all. So.
Okay.
Good news is I'm in an amped mood. As you can probably tell, I've been talking all day because I'm amped for bingo. Last week I was battling through illness. It was my flu game last weekend.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm just excited. No.
Oh no.
Noya.
This is the worst attack by the hippo. I really hate this
hate
one.
that fucking attack so much. So interesting. We see Stakes here going for NPC invaders. We do not have Scorpion Charms on the board here. Turtle's actually going to be the first player into Altus. You know, one thing that is of note
has been true, but he never upgraded his flask, so I'm not sure.
I don't think he has been, because he spent a while on those dragons. Part of it was just due to scaling, but also not the best RNG on Grail, and Exyx decided to just fuck him. Like, just I don't even know. Like, Exyx just completely decided to screw him there today. But yeah, Rambler, what do you think of this play by Champa Lampa here? Because he continues, there are squares in the DLC that like he could easily go mark, right? Moonrathil, Queenline, and Bellarat, but just continues to go set up and get map access here, getting access to South as well now by killing ADM. What do you think of this play by Champa here?
I think that when you look at GLC bingo, map is like the most important thing to get. So he is building his options here, right? Like now with the AGM kill, he will get access to all the graces that we have open with like conditions in the game. Like you have access to South, where he can do the Ghost Flame Dragon. That is a much easier fight to do and build that row 5. And obviously this is also like a very good influx of runes early on with a boss that does not offer the same level of resistance to wild strikes that the Golden Hippo does.
100%. So
by the way,
I guess a follow. Yes, Rambler?
By the way, this will give him graces next to 2 hippos as well.
Yes.
So I think he's actually working the most efficient way to get the 3 hippos is to kill Golden Hippo and just go down to the area with the frenzy. And I would assume he would go for that because Sword of Light is also a square. But he prefers to do this because this was building a lot of other squares as well. Ghost Flame Dragons becomes easier, Transformation becomes easier. Well, becomes necessary to kill the AGM, and the Deathrite Bird in Karo's Hidden Grave.
Yeah, so we see Noya here. Come on, okay, I didn't want to put him on the big screen out of fear of curse. I was scared.
Oh yeah.
But that's why I didn't want to mess with the screen. I get superstitious about this. Turtle here upgrading to the +9 Somber weapon, getting her Dragon Hunters online. I think Turtle's going to be really dangerous here in the base game. The fact that she has much more map than Stakes. Granted, Stakes is a much higher rune level and will be getting this Invader Square. But kind of my follow-up for you here, Rambler, is do you think this decision by Champa to be less aggressive was in terms of early marks was always the plan, or do you think he kind of wanted to see what Noya was doing, and because Noya's hasn't marked anything on the board, he's like, well, I'm just going to continue to set up for everything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this is a reactive decision. Like he doesn't want to fully go for a square until he has info on what Noya has been doing. So building map access for allows you to respond quicker to whatever Noya marks. Also, there's not an easy early square outside of Ancestral and Balls, and that should have been marked by now, and it's not. So why not just build your map and see what happens, right? I think this is a bit dangerous for them, specifically because of row 3. And column 4, they really don't want to lose that Ansis square, and that's what Noya is going for, by the way. So Champa's gonna mark the hippos, gonna block column 4, but row 3 will become a problem for them, pretty quickly if Noya gets this ball's first try.
Yeah, and because Noya goes for that, and Stakes Continue goes for the NPCs. I wonder, this could maybe send Champa to Death Knight, or Stakes goes for Goldfree. The problem with sending Stakes to Goldfree is that he doesn't already have Altus access here, because Turtle has a pretty easy line to go
Sticks
to
get babooshed.
gold free if she wants to. And we will, Stakes gets that NPC invader down. We will again go full screen with our DLC players, as we also see Turtle finally going for Leonine. So, you know, now that she has the +9 Somber, she feels confident to take on the dreaded Mr. Wins Games Leonine. Obviously joking there, but you think it's funny how Leonine just ends up being a bit of a dead square sometimes in bingo, as it does take, even in this format, it's a lot of running to get to. And Turtle decides to clean that up now. We could potentially see, though, a threat maybe on the other diag, right? I think it's going to be on Champa to address some potential threats here, because Stakes has gotten the, well, in just a second, we'll get the 2 early squares for their team. So both our DLC players get their fights down. We'll check in with Stakes here as he fights Mad Tongue Albrick. But yeah, both the DLC players are in that position, and Stakes is kind of out of position. He's actually the current square leader of any player on the board with 2 squares. So it's kind of on Champa here to respond to the threat as Stakes gets in position, getting Altus and upgrading his weapon to, you know, +18, +25, something like that.
Well, Turtle is the one with 2 squares, right?
Never mind, Turtle also has 2. So Turtle and Stakes will be tied here with 2 squares, as we see right there. My apologies, Turtle. I didn't mean to steal you of a square on commentary. Noya here is looking at Queeline and Bellarat, Champa, Munotho.
Oh yeah. Now they're basically trading blocks. Champa is already like making sure that row 3 doesn't become a problem. Going for moon refill. And Noya is concerned about row 5. And both are NPC fights that are very annoying. Very annoying. But Wild Strikes helps with Queeline, doesn't really help with Moon Refill.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, because Munithil just has too much poise, unfortunately. Also, very quickly, I want to say congratulations to CBD and Yojosh Arena. They just won an absolutely crazy game over in Bingo Brawlers, 13-12 with the Senesax kill at the end to win it. Congratulations to CBD and Yojo for getting that very impressive win. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I watch all the bingo. I'm everywhere.
I think I lost all my predictions already in Bingo Brawlers. Like I don't know who's better any longer.
I don't either. I know my preseason prediction was wrong. I think they still could bounce back, but my pick to win the league was Tom and Bree, because I believed in them, but they were off to a rough start, but they can bounce back.
Very good fight here, Moorfield. Like I think he didn't take a single hit. Very, very nice. And like now the trolls square that Noya is about to get is not that important any longer, but Leonine will be. Stakes making his way to Altus.
Yep, as Turtle here is going for Leonine. So let's see, can she kill the hardest boss in the game? Not Rick, but Mr. Wins Games himself. It has been, you know, every night when we pray to our Lord and Savior, Bernie Bingo, Lord and Savior of Bingo, obviously, we say, you know, may Mr. Wins Games bless us and grant us victory here today. Will that be the key for Turtle and Noya? Is Mr. Wins Games the key here?
Well, Mr. Wins Game doesn't get to play the game when you have an upgraded weapon.
And Vanilla dropped there too. Vanilla dropped with the Grafted Blade Greatsword.
Yeah. I wish Turtle remembers to upgrade her flasks. Like it was still +0 despite the fact that she's been to Altus.
And we'll check in with our DLC players once again here. Noya is going to finish up the 5-time champion Moles Carrion Knight in order to mark that square. And we see Champalampa here working on the Wolf, Lion, Hippo, Bear square. I saw some speculation from Tony in the chat, maybe wondering if Team Nordic Thunder was eyeing a sneaky column 1, and that might be the idea. If anyone is wondering why players are not rushing lines and is new to the 2v2 format, at least the way we do, at least the way this format works, you get 2 bonus points for getting a bingo, and the first team to 13 wins. So it's effectively 2 extra squares, but it does not automatically win the game. We do see that if one team bingos and the other doesn't, you're probably gonna win, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, and it makes it very, very interesting because you don't know whether it's a good idea to rush any particular line. Because even if you do get it, you need to like consider all the things that you're giving up and decide whether the extra points are worth it.
Yeah, like what is the sunk cost of going for that line, right? Like, could your time have been better spent doing other things, right? Because basically what you're doing is you're turning 5 squares into 7, but if those 5 squares are long enough and maybe unsynergistic enough, it might actually be faster to just go for 7 regular squares on the board than a specific 5 in a line.
Champa got hit by the roar there, by Ralva. That will be his 3rd Wolf Lion Hippo boss.
And funny enough, actually, I think we see maybe a Scar Seals race on our hands here. Very nicely done with the Wolf Lion Hippo. Noya here is going to do Queen Lion and Bellarat, but there's very few base game squares left on the board. I'll go ahead and just star them really quickly for you guys in chat. These 5 are the only, or 6, sorry, are the only squares left on the board here that can be done without DLC access. So it looks like both Stakes and Turtle here are looking at Radahn to help with potentially getting the Scar Seals in the top left corner, but also because they need to kill Remembrances to get that DLC access.
Now, one interesting thing about this, Queen Lion trying to, but he doesn't. He's just a bitch. He's just a little bitch. And yeah, now Noya and Turtle, Base Mummy and Daddy ELC get a slight lead 5-4. No real lines formed. The only 2 open right now are column 1 and row 4, both of them intersected by Deathrite Bird.
Yeah.
Caro's Hidden Grave. Which Champa has access to. But I know for a fact Champa didn't like the Deathrite Bird very much when he played GLC. Like we used to play with a set that had like kill the Deathrite Bird or Senesex, and he usually would do Senesex because it was easier. So like, but obviously he learned a lot more about the Deathrite Bird at this point. But it is not a fight that he used to like.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see here the battle between our 2 rookies as both of them go and attempt, or I keep calling them rookies. They're not rookies anymore. They were our rookies, and we love the Rookie Rumble player. Everyone loves the Rookie Rumble. It's everyone's favorite event for like the experienced players. It's just great to see new people get into the game. But I'm sure, you know, obviously they had practiced Radahn so much for that event. Probably a little lacking on their Radahn practice here, maybe working on some other bosses. Let's see if the rush shows for either of them, but they both had a very nice phase 1 here as they are into phase 2. Champalampa's doing the hardest boss in that Wolf Lion Bear Hippo, going all the way back to Weeping to claim the Wolf Lion Bear Hippo as we have a tied game at 5-5 with 50 minutes into the game here. Very nicely done by Stakes there. He takes it down. Can Turtle do the same? And if this does end up being a Scar Seals race between these 2, it's going to be very, very close. Stakes with a little bit of the lead here over Turtle by virtue of getting Radahn down quicker.
Now, one thing that I find...
And beautifully done by Turtle. Really proud of both of them. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful fight there by both of those 2.
Yeah, as much as I love the good old Radahn fight, on this board I would not have done Radahn. It is faster to get the Scar Seals without it, like just taking the elevator now.
Yeah.
And like there's other bosses you can do, especially for Turtle. She has access to Renala, and Gold Free takes you very close to Morgoth as another remembrance. Malekith is on the board as another remembrance to get access to the GLC. So I would have considered just sacking Radahn in favor of getting that Scar Seal square quicker, because like this square is very, very important. Like it is the best block on column 1 for Noia and Turtle, and it builds their line. So it is also the best block of by Stakes and Champa on the diagonal.
Well, you heard it here from Professor Rambler. Unfortunately, Noia and Turtle, or not, sorry, Turtle and Stakes are not getting perfect marks on their decision-making report card from Professor Rambler here. But I think they're still maybe not an A plus from Professor Rambler, but I think this is a very solid B at the very least, because I think this makes a lot, like, I understand that there's a counter argument, and I think your counter argument makes a ton of sense, but I think also this play out the face of it does make a lot of sense. DLC access is just so freaking important, and that Scar Seals square is so important for both of these two, and it's like, what kills two birds with one stone? Radon, right? I do understand that there'd be faster ways to get in Scar Seals and then an alternative way to get in the DLC, which is what Rambler was proposing, but I think this play might be the most logical, right?
Yeah,
if not the best.
It is about not putting all your eggs on one basket, right? Like, imagine doing that Scar Seals and you get sniped on it. Like, now you don't have anything. But I think this format is so fast with the things that you can do that you need to be aware of. Like, maybe it is better to just like sacrifice late game efficiency for early game efficiency.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more from Coach Rambler and get more involved in the bingo community beyond the broadcast, you can go ahead and join the Team Ignite. We would love to have you in there. We always do. We basically every single night we have a ton of games going, whether you want to learn bingo yourself and get into it that way, or if you just want to understand, as we do have Champa Lampa here going for the Death Right Bird and Charles. But I'm going to finish my ad read for Ignite. Whether you want to just learn about it and watch and, you know, kind of hear from some of the best players in the world as they're practicing and learning, or if you want to get into bingo yourself, join Ignite. We'd love to have you there. Love to get you a part of the bingo community. And who knows, maybe one day you will become the next Elden bingo lord.
Yeah, and speaking of killing birds with stones, here we see Champa trying to kill the bird with one brick.
Well, the brick loses to the poker.
The poker. It is an amazing weapon, even better on the hands of the Death Right Bird.
And you know, we have Turtle and Stakes racing here, and this is one of the few times in the game where you don't want to have too much vig here, because actually the more health you have, the tankier that Mimic tier is. And Stakes Mimic is going to be considerably tankier than Turtles, but he is still ahead. That being said, I couldn't think of another rhyme, but it's close. It's close. We'll go back. We'll screw with Champa. Yeah, he did deny the heal from Mimic, which was very good. Champa did go get that Sacred Blade for this Death Right Bird, and I completely understand that. Ooh. Champa's playing very aggressive there. He was going very aggressive because that had to be really, really close to a stagger. I think he was looking to get a stagger before a potential phase transition because his damage was really good. I wonder what that poise value was, because it had to be super close. I completely get the greed there, but just did not work out for him in that instance. And this is going to be really close between Turtle and Stakes here. How well do they know the drops down? Is there a potential mistake? It's very easy to die here. I actually remember the Happy Hob lost a hitless run, I believe, a hitless or deathless run to this area. It is, there's some tricky drops here. Parkour, the enemy of Elden Ring players, as Noia does get the Sword of Light and Darkness there, and giving Team Base Mommy and Daddy a 6-5 lead here, as it's shaping up to be a very, very close end game.
Yeah, the Scar Seals will determine a lot about how this game goes.
I agree. And it's going to be so close. Either way, and while we have that race going on, we have Potentially Noya here looking for a block though, as he's going for Renala, Twin Moon Knight, potentially going for the remembrances here, the 5 different remembrances, because I can see no other reason why you would go for this. Yeah, this is crazy. I would say we should go full screen with Noya for Renala. We will for now, but this the war between Noya, Turtle and Stakes, does the skip come into play once again? Does Turtle go for it here? In the bottom right hand of your screen, she does go for it, and she gets it, and they are so close between the two of them as they race for these Scar Seals. I pray that both of them have Stone Sword keys. It would be an absolute blunder if one of these two players did not have a Stone Sword key to open the Everjail and get that Scar Seal and Weeping.
It's so easy to forget to get
so
one on the way.
It's so easy to forget. God, they are, and Stakes does not have the timer up on the board, so I can't tell exactly what the stream delay difference is, unfortunately.
Now it's the Noya decided to do Sword of Light without going to the Catacomb. Maybe counting on Champa not going for the Death Knight because of that.
Noya's good here. Noya's should be good. He's hopefully will finish this out, but we got to see this Scar Seals race is insane. This is so pivotal for the game. If Team Nordic Thunder in Stakes is able to claim the Scar Seals, then they're going to have a massive opportunity with that bingo line on column 1 in a tie game. Getting those 2 bonus points as well as a snipe will be devastating for Base Mommy and Daddy. But on the other point, I think a lot of Stakes and Champa's game plan does hinge around that column 1. So can they deny them? Man, this is going to be so close between the two.
The damage is amazing on both ends.
Oh my God! They both killed at the same time. I don't know who's gonna mark the square first.
And that's Turtle.
And Mark was clean. Oh my God, Mark was clean. Mark was clean. I double checked it on the stream. Turtle got it first. Absolutely devastating for Team Nordic Thunder. One of the closest snipes that I've ever seen.
This is amazing. Like, no, it's so brutal for Stakes, right? But Turtle decided to do it at the same time, and now it is a very dangerous diagonal. All bingos are blocked for Base Mommy and Daddy GLC. So Champa now needs to play catch up, go for Ghost Flames to make sure that they don't get bingoed on the diagonal, which would be basically game over.
Yes, and we have Noya here working on Romina. He's continuing to go for those 5 different remembrances as Champalampa's working on the Ghost Flame Dragons. And you know what? They still have auxiliary threats here. They can still make a threat on the top row. They can still make a threat on the column 5, right? For Team Base Mommy and Daddy. Nordic Thunder, no more bingo threats. That being said, I think overall Champa's DLC progression is a little bit higher. Oh man, this is gonna be close.
Oh yeah.
That was an incredible race. That's one of those moments where, my God, bingo's an unfair game at times, but it's the game we play and the game we love, right? Because a second would have made the difference there. It was genuinely that close. Bingo, the only game to play Elden Ring where watching people race for a Scar Seal is more exciting than Rolana. Little tactical retreat here from Champalampa as he needs to be careful of the summons as he goes to kill the Ghost Flame Dragon here. Noya continuing to do work on Champa 1 HP in a dream.
Just to get the heal.
Champa's in some trouble here, struggling a little bit with this guy, and I completely understand because you have all the ads shooting you. You just have to deal with like so many things, as well as obviously the pressure of being in a bingo match and you're trying to go as fast as you're possible. Dragon's not cooperating. You're randomly getting shot by arrows. You're getting poked. You know, it's by spear guys. There, speak of the devil.
No more blue.
No more blue. And actually we see Stakes here going for Roundtable Knight Vike as Turtle's going for Noble. We're gonna go just to the 4-player screen here. Champa does get that down. Noya should get this down in just a second, and then we'll go check in with Turtle and Stakes. I think this is a very nice square for Stakes. The other thing too is after Stakes gets Roundtable Knight Vike down, he can make his way progressing further up the mountain into Foot of the Forge in order to get access to Malekith. As Turtle goes down there and Noya gets down Romina, we'll go full screen with Stakes. This is not an easy fight. I hate this guy.
Yeah, you need to be very patient, because he can like take you a lot of your health,
Yeah, if you get caught with that see, dude, you got hit with a follow. He went from 75% at like 40 plus vig to dead in 2 hits. That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, the only advantage here is that I believe pierce damage is better against Vike. I'm not 100% sure about that, but like I think it is. Tends to be with like bosses that use armor. Now Noya is going to finish the Remembrance square here, and it's interesting that he's not doing PK for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too, but I think he does want to just mark the square as fast as possible. I think he's concerned that maybe, you know, because it just feels like Scar Seals was a race, right? I'm sure that they felt that, even though they definitely don't know how close it was. But I think it's easy to see once the Deathrite Burden Charos got marked that like, hey guys, we're fighting here for this bingo line. And I think Noya is just concerned about wasting his progress that he's already made towards this Remembrance Square and wants to get it done as fast as possible by doing Lion. And we're gonna go, we got 4 fights going on. Well, about to be 4. So 4-player big screen here.
And this Ghost Flame is much easier than the other one.
Much, much easier. Lower scaled and no ads.
Stakes being patient here.
Ads, the enemy of Twitch chatters and bingo players. Very nicely done by Champa Lampa there. We're going to go full screen here with Stakes and Noya as Stakes continues to work on Vike and Noya is working on the Dancing Lion. And of course, we got to get that beautiful OST on. I know it's a favorite of yours, Rambler.
Oh yeah, it's great music for a very confusing boss.
Have you heard arguments about whether or not this guy's a mounted boss?
I mean, it would be interesting to think: is the mask mounted by the guys? Is that
or
the
maybe
reasoning?
there's one guy on someone else's shoulders, right? like up near the head, maybe. You don't know. It's hard to tell.
Well, what I can say is Vike may not be mounted, but he is an ass.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You know, I think we might be seeing Stakes has a lower weapon level. He's been really carried by the cold, but Vike is status immune, right?
Yes.
So he does not get derive the same benefit, and you can see like his damage is piss poor on this fight. It is the highest scaled boss I think he's fought all day, but the lack of cold is what he was so reliant upon and is really hurting him here.
It is not the best setup for Vike. Because the anchor is large, but it's not that great in terms of range.
Yeah, that is true. It's better than like some great axes or great hammers, i.e. the duelist great hammer that we or the brick hammer that we see on screen. But yeah, it could be a little bit better for sure. Yeah, I gotta say it's been already a fantastic day of bingo. With that crazy brawlers game, and it's looking like these two teams, Nordic Thunder, Base Mommy, and Daddy, are gonna deliver on what's becoming maybe one of the best days in bingo history in terms of match quality. if the players both on the brawler side and on our side can continue to deliver this quality of games, because we've been neck and neck, it feels like, all day here.
Oh yeah. And I believe we have like what, Cronies and Lemon and Shure and Psy next?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have, after this, we have some amazing games. We have 3 games here for you today. Next up is Cronies and Lemon versus Shura and Psy. And after that, we have the game between Dino and Deutz and Wander and Strump. So it should be
Nice.
2 actually
stakes. Down to 0 flasks.
down to 0 flags. Dancing Lion goes down. We'll go full screen with just Stakes and Turtle here. Turtle also actually on 0 flash. He's having some issues with this Godskin Noble. Stakes needs one more hit. Can he get it? And he does. Relief for Stake as he's able, probably scared he's gonna get sniped here. But he does mark the square clean mark, and we are at 8-8 here, folks.
So this is an official race for majority here. Like, with no bingos left for anybody. All lines have been blocked. And what we're seeing now is Noya and Champa racing the Death Knight. And I think Noya took too long to cash in on this one. Like, he should have done this sooner. Because Champa now, not only he's ahead inside the catacomb, but he also has Sacred Blade. So that means it's gonna be like, he's gonna have a much better time with the fight. That being said, Noya does have a lot of levels from all the remembrances he killed, so if Champa does not get it first try, Noya may catch up.
Also, I want to give a quick shout out here. Chat, make sure to be on me to give shout out to our players throughout the day. But especially for those of them who are streamers, but make sure to go follow Stake, guys. He's a wonderful streamer, does a ton of bingo content stuff, and is always also looking to help coach and get new players into bingo on stream. So definitely go show him some love and support. If you have not already, please go ahead and drop him a follow. I'll continue to shout out the players throughout the match, but yeah, I want to give the love to Stakes here, as he's been doing a massive amount of work for the bingo community, and if we can pay him back with a follow, just a simple follow, all you need to do, just click a button, we would greatly appreciate it here. And maybe another bit of a race here between Blade of Mercy and Dagger Talisman, as Stakes is going into Volcano Manor as well. We'll go full screen with Turtle here. It's about to be a Death Knight race between Noya and Champa. Champa is ahead. Turtle waving hi to the fans there. I'm sure she's not just bored and pressing buttons. It says hello in Elden Ring. And but yeah, we have Champa now in. So we'll actually go to the dual screen with Champa and Turtle, I believe actually for the first time today.
Go for the fight now.
Now, Champa is ahead of Noya, but if Champa goes down here, this will be very close. And the only biggest advantage for Champa, though, is the fact that he does have that holy attunement.
Oh, very nice, Turtle.
Very nicely done by Turtle there. Gets it down. We'll go full screen with Champa. Once Noya enters the fight, we'll go to the dual screen. The other thing, too, is you get chipped down throughout this catacomb. So not on full heals when entering the fight. Actually, Noya's only going to be on like 4 flasks when he enters. Maybe this could be intentional death territory, because this Death Knight fight is a very long fight.
Not only that, but also like whoever gets sniped, and it looks like might be Noya. Champa is getting work on this Death Knight.
Yeah, Noya does take the intentional death there, kind of as expected.
I think they both are gonna be in a bad spot, because I think they both got the grace, so they cannot leave the catacomb immediately unless they kill the boss.
Yeah, there's so no matter who gets sniped here or who doesn't, we'll just be stuck. So that gives just a further advantage to whoever wins this square, going to the next square. It's looking like it will be Champa. Champa does win
Champa
that
gets
race
it.
there and gets it down.
And now it's 9-8.
Yes, 9-8. Question is for Noya, just has to memory of grace out, and then assuming he grabbed the grace here, he's gonna actually have to take an additional elevator ride. Yep, so he'll have to take the elevator back up. Meanwhile, Champa is just able to go ahead and go to work, except is he forgetting that we have the grace in the fissure?
Well,
Oh no, he's going for revenants. He's going for revenants. You are allowed to kill this royal revenant. After much debate, it was found that he does actually drop runes.
Yeah, but what will be the other two?
I'm not sure. That's a you question, not a me question. You're the expert.
I mean, he could do the EG one. Now the question is, well, if he does drop runes, is it unique?
Yeah.
If the Chipia summons twice?
No, it would be, this counts for one.
Okay.
That's one. You can't just farm
kill.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, not his intention anyway.
And Turtle here is, so she already picked up got Noble down, and she's racing to go get her second remembrance. Actually chose to go Godric instead of Renala. A bit surprised about that, either Renala or Rykard, but just maybe more comfortable with Godric. I know she had, just going for the comfort play here with Godric. But this could be another race and potentially another snipe between Stakes and Turtle here as they go for Blade of Mercy and Dagger Talisman. Stakes, I know he's killed Radahn, but has he killed another remembrance? I don't believe so.
Not yet. No, he could go for Rykard right after
yeah.
Noble. I would like to see a Maliketh though.
Yeah, I think that Malekith square, no matter which way, it could end up being pretty pivotal here. Because actually there's still a lot of juice left in base game. We talked about there being much more DLC squares than base game squares on the board, but we've seen Stakes and Turtle had that very long race for the Scar Seals just to end in one of the closest snipes I've ever seen. So
Stakes gets rolled twice.
So as a result, the pace for the base game team is a little bit lower because they've been sniping each other, right? Not that they're on a team, they're trying to beat each other, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we'll bring Noya up on the screen as he goes for ADM.
Are you trying to contest the transformation square?
Yep, while Champa's working on going back to base game to work on these Royal Revenants. Stakes does get that down, and Noya gets down ADM. I think a lot of this game will hinge upon Malekith, because the other thing too is that if Turtle wins Blade of Mercy and Dagger, I would have every reason to expect that she then just goes immediately into Oathseeker and Black Knife set. So that is 2 squares for team base mommy and daddy, right? Obviously, Champa here is going to go finish Royal Revenants to get Nordic Thunder up to 10 as well. It's hard to predict how, even though it's so close, like in singles, it's much easier to say like, oh, there's prio here, prio there, and really predict how these things go. I feel like this is still so up in the air at this point.
There's 4 squares here that we don't see like players really working for them, right? Halig Tree Medallion, Godfrey, Maliketh, and Centrina's Nectar.
Mm-hmm.
So any one of those 4 could become the last square.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maliketh, like, he's a very
Stakes has some map advantage. He's been to Vike, so he's closer, but still, like...
The other thing, too, is, like, Malekith is such a hard boss. Like, we have 2 DLC specialists, and 2 players who, I don't know how much they practice Malekith, right? Like, it might come down to just like who's prepped Malekith the both, maybe even of the 4 at the end, because I have never seen any of them fight Malekith. I don't have a particular inclination to say like, oh, this player is really strong on Malekith. So I'm kind of in the same spot as you guys here watching, where I just like, I don't know who's gonna go for that if it does come down to it, and I really don't know which of even the 4 I would back in that race.
Yeah, it's very unclear, especially because like it will come a time like Noya is about to mark transformation in like a couple minutes. Champa is going for Lamenter, and that should be a snipe. Like there is no way he gets the Lamenter killed before Noya gets to the transformation, the rock heart. So we might see a PK race right after this.
Well, because I think we're actually gonna see a double snipe by Base Mommy and Daddy, because Stakes is ahead on getting the Dagger Talisman, but he needs one more remembrance for Blade of Mercy. Turtle already has that, right? So it'll be a double snipe here that'll even us up at 10-10.
Yeah, I didn't see Turtle already killed Godric, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh yeah, this is a snipe, so it's gonna be a 10-10 tie. And funnily enough, I think both Champa and Noya will feel pressured into rushing PK. But I think the right thing to do after this transformation mark is to let go of that square and go for Altus access to help Turtle and Stakes, because there will be 4 squares left, and they are actually with as much juice, if not more. So they can do Maliketh, they can do Hail Trimedallion, they can do Goldfree.
But neither has Altus access. They both need to get it. They both need to acquire it, right?
Yeah, and Turtle is gonna be in a better spot here, because Turtle will be the only player with full access.
Yeah, because I think Turtle having full access might maybe a bit of a mistake there by Stakes to go get the Dagger Talisman. Instead, should have prioritized potentially getting the second remembrance. Because the thing is
going off a record, I think.
Yeah, because Turtle will get Blade of Mercy and Dagger before Stakes is able to finish that, and then she can immediately go Oathseeker Black Knight set, has massive priority on it as the only player with base game and DLC access of the 4, with DLC and also this access of the 4 here. So yeah, I think this could end up even being 11-10 in Base Mommy and Daddy's favor. So we might be witnessing a massive swing here in favor of Base Mommy and Daddy, as Noya there does use the transformation, makes it 10-9. Turtle here is about to get Blade of Mercy, and it'll be even 10-10. 5 squares left. 4 players, but only one team can be the winner here as we look to close out this opening game of the weekend. And regardless of what happens from here on out, one hell of a game, played very well by all of our players.
10-10 about to happen here.
Also, as Turtle does mark this square, I want to give, she also streams as well, and I want to give her a shout out as well. She's not only a fantastic Elden Ring bingo player, but also very involved in the in the Legend of Zelda community, and does like competitive randomizer races with Zelda, maybe potentially some bingo as well. So if you're interested in learning more about the Zelda community, and if you like the competitive side of games, definitely check out Turtle and give her a follow. She is absolutely wonderful, one of the nicest people that I've met in the league. Granted, we have so many nice people, I say that about everybody, but yeah, go ahead and definitely give her a follow, man. We would greatly appreciate it if you can give a follow and show some support to our players. They work so hard to put on a show for you, so if you can pay them back with a follow, they would greatly appreciate it, I'm sure. And this PK race is shaping up to be very close. Turtle is going actually for Goldfree. I'm very surprised she's not going for Oathseeker Black Knife.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting call. Like Oathseeker takes like a few minutes to get to, like about 3 minutes, I would say.
Oh my god, but Stakes is behind again though.
Oh my god, it's another snipe in the works. Now Stakes should have the advantage if his weapon is maxed out.
I don't think it is. And I know
Yeah,
Turtle's plus 9. Let's go full screen with Turtle.
Yeah.
For the DTS,
Stakes
this is going to be so close here between our players.
Stakes has pierce damage, which is better against the DTS, but like also Turtle is so much ahead on this right now.
So far ahead, right? Oh, this race here through the PK area is gonna be. It's Chambalamba goes down. Chambalamba goes down. So now Noya has a clear lead as Chambalamba goes down. And Stakes is rolling up to DTS. Turtle not having the cleanest fight at the start there. And Stakes really is not far behind. If he's able to have a super clean fight, he could make up a significant chunk of ground here on the gold free race. Go full screen with both of these two.
Yeah, even though it's not max upgrade, it is great damage there on Stakes. He's making up time.
Oh! Turtle gets caught. I thought she was safe. She just kind of outspaced the slam there and had to be on the very edge of it as she gets caught. And now Stakes is potentially in the driver's seat for the gold free race. We've seen swings all day here from Des. It's been back and forth all day, and you know the favor of Bernie Bingo seeming to be going in the way of Stakes at the very least on this race. But that being said, Bernie is equal in the favors that he gives out, as he has given the benefit to Noya there with Chambalamba having the death running to PK, but Chambalamba does pivot out. Might actually be a fortuitous death for him in the long run, because he's deciding instead to go for Altus access through the Abductor Virgins. That might end up being a fortuitous death, as Noya was always ahead, but Champa had Sacred, right? He had a Sacred Blade, so could have made some difference out in the fight, because it was only like 15 seconds or so before the death.
Yeah, no, it was definitely close enough that the fight would determine. But like I said, I think this is a better play anyway. Getting Altus access allows him to do everything on the board.
All right, as Stakes does get through, Turtle's going through. Turtle's getting through this, but we're going to check in with Noya here as he goes for Putrescent Knight. This would give a 13-10 lead for base mommy and daddy. Turtle needs one more hit here and does get the Draconic Tree Sentinel down. However, she is a ways behind there on gold free. Noya needs to get through this fight and then imbibe at St. Trina's Nectar. That is the PK square. You just need to, go suckle on Trina and then she kills you for it. And that will be square for them. But we are going to see Stakes and Champa have the lead with both players now having Altus access. Man, this is still too close to call at this point. Much too close to call. I can't even really tell who's in the lead.
It may look weird, but I think Champa and Stakes will be on the lead.
I think so too. Assuming that this goes to book, right? Because they would both have the DLC access. But man, it's close. It is very close.
Yeah, and I have to believe that Champa looks to do potentially Off-Seeker and Black Knife, but also Hating Tree Medallion, while Stakes does Maliketh. Because Stakes has been closer to it, but maybe Chambalamba is more comfortable with Maliketh, and that's also a square that he can do.
Yeah.
So it's unpredictable what they will be doing.
Because both that Maliketh and that O'Neal, if you don't know what you're doing, he's a bastard. He is a bastard if you don't know how to properly deal with the summons and everything. And like I said, I know all these players have practiced, but Noya and Turtle have primarily been focusing on the DLC. Noya and Champa have been primarily focusing on the DLC. Stakes and Turtle have a bunch to learn. I don't know how far their prep has gone with these super late bosses in the base game. Noya does get down PK there and will just imbibe right after. But man, this is going to be such a close end game.
Sticks making his way very carefully through Lanedale. Turtle right behind.
Again, guys, make sure to stick around as we have a huge day of bingo with us. We have 2 more fantastic games after this. I will be joined by Thomas for both. Next up on the slate, the battle of Sci-Fi and Shura, 1-0 versus Lemon and Cronies. They are making their debut in the league, but I know they were one of the preseason favorites. Definitely a team that everyone in the league is very scared of. So we'll see how Lemon and Cronies will do on debut against Sci-Fi and Shura right after this.
Now Sticks gets the grace there. Like, if the fight is a little bit rough, Turtle could still get this.
Yeah, especially because no status, right? Which will technically hurt both the players, but it will disproportionately hurt Stakes will feel it much more. He's much more reliant on the frost than Turtle is on the bleed.
Shump is going for Oath Seeker Knight and Black Knife set, getting Black Knife first. Oh, Turtle sits. You cannot sit inside Lanedale without talking to Melina.
No sitting. Sitting is not allowed. Sitting is bad.
You can only sit after you kill Godfrey, because the graces from Godfrey forward, Melina does not bother you.
Well, let's check in here for this Godfrey race with Stakes. Yeah, I think due to the sit here, Turtle will need a death. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, she might get what she needs. It's not the cleanest Godfrey.
You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might get what you need.
Get what you need. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's happened. It's happened. It's gonna be even. They're gonna be even by the time he respawns. They're gonna be dead even.
Oh my god. This could be the third snipe in a row on Stakes.
Yeah, Godfrey might be the first Elden Lord, but he could be causing the worst day for Stakes here. Potentially 3 snipes in a row is absolutely brutal. Gonna come down the execution between these two though. Can Stakes pull it back together and finish out the fight? Can Turtle not reach the same fate of Stakes and have a clean fight here first go? He is looking very clean going through it.
Her damage is also better.
Yeah, because that +9 Somber, right? Oh, but she's in trouble. Turtle's in trouble. Does heal. Stakes gets a stagger. Turtle has a significant lead in terms of the HP bar. And there we go. I think that will be the square to Turtle and Base Mommy and Daddy. But Champa here is going to get the O-Seeker and the Black Knife set. And I think here it's going to all come, like, obviously very unfortunate for Stakes. He's gotten sniped multiple times in a row, but there's still plenty of time in this game for him to make up the difference here and come in clutch for his team in the end game. It's going to come down to Malekith, the Black Blade, and full Hallowed Tree Medallion. O-Seeker and Black Knife will go the way of Team Nordic Thunder. And here we go. Both.
Noya making his way to Abductors now.
Turtle was going for O-Seeker and Black Knife, it looked like, and she gets sniped there. It looks like Stakes is going full Hallowed Tree. Man, this is going to be such a close end game here.
Okay, so Stakes is going for Hallowed Tree, so that means Champa is going for Malekith.
Yeah.
They need both squares to win. No, and Turtle only need one.
In a little mistake by Turtle. I think Turtle didn't realize the mark, and it took her a bit to react to the snipe. And she is now making her way to the Commander Nile. This could be the revenge of the Stakes as he snipes Turtle back here potentially. And
I remind everybody, Casey did predict that Stakes would do the skip first try.
He did in the predictions. Turtle's going
Casey
Malekith.
is a sightseer.
Okay, so Turtle is now racing Champa for Malekith instead, as Stakes is going for Nile. Pressure is on for Stakes here. We'll go full screen with him. Champa's going for Malekith. He didn't take the bridge line. This still works. It's a little bit slower, but it's okay. Question is too, like, do they know bird skip? Does Champa know bird skip? I have no idea. Bird skip could come up huge here.
Stakes.
Keeping his composure.
I hope buffed.
All right, there comes the attack. Stakes finally, he was getting terrible RNG. He was really wanting to punish that backstab. Does get that down. All right, Stakes, it is just one mono e-mono. Stakes versus Lions.
Stakes going for the other F first. Noya going for the first Haley tree part first, like for Albus.
Come on, Stakes. Got a lot of health bar to chew through and only 2 flasks. Come on, Bernie Bingo. Give this man the strength. He deserves it.
Gets the stagger.
Going to be on eggshells for the rest of this fight. Turtle here does know bird skip, is going for it. I'll make sure you guys are updated. You can check Turtle is in the bottom right hand of the screen there. Really good roll by Stakes to roll that Storm Cut. That's so hard to do.
Jesus.
How, dude, the fact that he's consistently rolling that, that's insane. Turtle's attempting bird skip at the current moment. Big frost proc for Stakes. Really nicely done. Great bird skip by Turtle. Turtle will be first into Malekith. Champa does not know bird skip. He is running around. This is completely viable, but he will lose. I'm not sure the exact time difference, but a little chunk of time. Stakes has to heal. He's down to no heals.
Edge of my seat here.
Big stagger! Big stagger for Stakes! He gets clocked and no!
Oh my god, no! And Noya just bought Bewitching Branches. He's going for it. Turtle first in the fight against Malekith as well. They both have the opportunity.
This is so close, such a close finish to this game. Champa goes down there. We're going to the full player big screen here. We're 4-player big screen here. Champa goes down there. It is Malekith in full Halig tree. Turtle is in on Malekith the Black Blade. Stakes needs a death here for Noya.
I get it.
But it might not matter because Turtle can just close this out if she closes out Malekith here. What a finish this is going to end up being either way. Okay, he does have the second one, Bewitching Branched.
Ooh, he gets a very nice stagger there.
Stakes is back in the fight. Champa's trying to make his way towards Malekith. Huge stagger there by Noya. I think Noya's going to close this out. Noya gets a kill. That's it. That should be it. He just has to pick up the Halig Tree Medallion. That should be game. That should be game. One hell of a fucking game. Congratulations to all of our players. One hell of our game, but there could only be one winner. They're called Mommy and Daddy for a reason, and it will be Base Mommy and Daddy, Noya and Turtle, taking care of business and getting to win in their first game of the season. One hell of a game by the players, but congratulations to Noya and Turtle on the victory. We will go ahead and bring them in here for a quick little post-match interview, and then we will need to get set up for the next match. I think there's Rambler. We're having some camera issues there, but wow, what a game. What a game by our players here.
This was amazing. I wish to see a Malekith race by the end. We saw it, but the decision was made by like the Halig Tree race by Noya. Like it's so tight, this format, so difficult to predict and so difficult to play. It's amazing to see such a close game, and well, what better start for the weekend?
Yeah, let's bring the players in here. I'm going to have to kind of express this post-match interview as we need to get the other game started. It's going to start a little bit late. If anyone's watching for the next game, we'll have to start a little late. But let's bring the players in.
Oh.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. GG's. Congratulations on an abso-fucking-lutely amazing game, and what a way to start off the bingo weekend. We do need to kind of express this as the next game is supposed to start in 10 minutes. But I'll give the floor here to Base Mommy and Daddy. I think you earned your title of Mom and Dad here as you were able to get the win, move to 1-0 in your first game of the season. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I feel really good. Yeah, I feel like it was a tough one, but we got there eventually. Yeah, we made some mistakes, but we brought it back together in the end.
A strong family unit, like a mom and dad should be, well connected and working together.
Yeah, overcoming the hardships of household life. Yeah.
But yeah,
I will go practice Red Wolf a bit, and then we'll be good.
But I mean, congratulations! That was genuinely like such an amazing game. Absolutely back and forth all game. I mean, like you guys don't know, but some of the snipes there, I mean, condolences to Stakes, because you were the victim of some of the most brutal sniping from Turtle I've ever seen, man.
Scar Seals was, I clicked it and it turned blue.
It was the closest snipe. It was the closest snipe I've ever seen. You guys both killed it at the exact same time, and I genuinely like couldn't tell. Like I was able to see via the board that like Turtle marked it early, and then I could watch the broadcast. Like I made sure the mark was clean and legit, but like it could not have been closer.
Wow. Do you know that's the keyboard marking? Because if I had to Alt Tab out and click it, I wouldn't have clicked it that fast. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. But I mean, seriously, congratulations. We were on the edge of our seats the entire time. It was so close.
I'm too old for this. I'm gonna get a heart attack one of these days.
Well, Rambo, that's why we only have you on one game, right? You can't. Your heart can't take the back to back.
Yeah. Amazing game, both all four of you, all four of you. Great to see.
Yeah, it takes a chop. I would have given you guys. It was a wonderful performance. I mean, I know you guys are such a good team. Obviously, you know, it feels like in back to back weeks you had games where you played so well and very easily could have won, but it just felt like that Bernie Bingo wasn't on your side. But my God, you guys played so well, and you're such a fantastic team. And we can't wait to see all of you in the future.
Yeah,
GG's.
thanks. GG's,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
All right. Well, chat, thank you so much for watching. Players, thank you guys all so much for playing. Rambler, thank you so much for joining me on commentary. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a short break here. Next match is supposed to start in 8 minutes. I'll let you know already. It's going to be a little delayed, but I'll do my best to get ready as fast as I possibly can. And then we'll be bringing you Sci-Fi and Shura versus Lemon and Cronies. Let's get it.